Alright. Should be recording. Hit the button. Did hit the button. There's the folder. I'd like to see the files. And yeah, I don't think that's quite right. I think my heart rate should be lower, but I'm sure it'll get there. Anyway, continuing in Viscera Clean Detail, which is after it got. I'm not focused on the window yet, by the way. It got an update not that long ago that changed some things, and also it's like, yeah, Runestorm, they have been sharing that, yes, they are working on some sort of follow-up to it, and it will be in UE4, which is definitely interesting. Like, we know that much, just, like, ooh, what new capabilities will it have? Sorry, it's a fun game, so I'm happy to see that. And it also just occurred to me, I really hope that what I was saying was being picked up, because it kind of went really quiet in there. Yeah, let's start. Hang on. I need to turn that down. Yep. So the and I don't have I think this is right. But let me quickly check. 3 hours. I can do that all in one sitting. Yep, revolutionary robotic. Let me quickly. This. I'm just putting in the stuff in the notes because I keep track of. Well, maybe too much. In the notes. Revolutionary. Wow. Part 1. Okay. And clicking back in. Yeah, let me just... Okay, good. Settings did get changed, by the way, with the update, so I might need to go in and tweak them, but I did also make sure that things were set up, so Ray down image sharpening is enabled, but I also set up Ray down chill, so it will, on its own, naturally fall down to about 45 FPS. Don't remember what the upper limit is. Well, I'm doing there. And in case anyone doesn't remember, it has been months. Really this, but normally check out very near where start. The music that's playing, I don't remember the name of it, but it's YouTube has free music that's like your safe to use music. So I'm just playing that because I don't care a whole lot for the in-game music, which, hey, Runestorm, that could be one of the things that you could add in whatever this follow-up is a built-in music player that can, maybe stream, I don't really care about that, but at least, can find this stuff on your system to play and have it better integrated in here, so I don't need to alt-tab in there. Is the, here it is. Perfect. I don't get anything. This? No? Okay. Nope. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so I can go back to talk. Yeah, I don't know if I've actually talked about it with what the information is I keep in my notes. Yeah, it is several things. Like I keep the date of whenever a recording is, and I don't know what if it matters, but I do, because YouTube accepts that information. You can't actually give YouTube the recording date for any video, and I put that in there. I don't know if it means anything, but I do that since I do have the information. The name, obviously, the title, and the description. I also keep track of what the original file sizes, because the size of the archive that's got all the video in it. I keep track of that, and also then the final version, which is basically just reprocessed to be a bit smaller. Whoop. Where am I? Oh. I'm looking. I feel like I'm looking for something, but I already know that the Slosh-O-Matic is back there. There's that. That's always lovely to find. There we go. That I think I can say. That's what I was looking for. The checkout machine. Alright. This is a large. Okay. I'm gonna put this in the incinerator because I hate when these things pop. Close the door. So. Side now, which actually. Okay. It doesn't appear that this leaves the tray. I'm gonna start at the time because. So that is good. I'm pretty sure I will need. I don't know what the point of the wall is. I will need the arc welder because I'm pretty sure that is what gets rid of the footprints. And like these right here. I did see when the last time I did a recording was. That was in October. This is now the middle of February. So it has definitely been a while. I think I need to actually end up changing that out. The turret. Yeah, it's been a while. I really enjoy this game. You know, there's another game that I got not that long ago. I wouldn't do recordings like this. I don't think, well, maybe the gauge track, but I don't think it would be that interesting otherwise. But it does kind of have a VCD vibe to it. Hard Space Shipbreakers, where you take apart old spaceships, basically. It's in early access, and yeah, there are some spots that are kind of rough. But it is fun. It definitely... It's in a similar kind of vein as this, at least if you do the open trip. So it's like, yeah, take all the time you need to get things done. As opposed to need to get everything done in like 30, well, no, for some of it, it's like 15 minutes, and at that point, it's like, I'm gonna start doing the open trip. Alright, I'm gonna start. That's... Okay, this I think is time to do that. I mean, there's a body in there. I have, yeah. Oh, good. There's the welder. Okay. I knew I was close. I just wasn't sure how close. Oh man, look at all bullets. I failed to notice that. That I closed that and not reopened it. lucky with not picking footprint. I just want to... Oh, no, I did. Good. I need to clear out the path to get more, so... God, there's... Yeah, that's probably why it's 3 hours. It's just how much... I mean, there's bullet holes on the ground. Damn good. Remember if I've talked about it, and it's still going to be a while before it will happen, but I am thinking that, because eventually I'm going to run out of maps in VCD to do, because no offense, but I don't feel like going to the mod ones, the custom map, and just keep it to the official ones. But I think afterward what I will do is start working on Left 4 Dead campaign. I don't know how much anyone cares, but it's, whenever I need to, do the same thing, where it's just I need to fill out a week properly. Okay. I knew it was close to being finished, I just wasn't sure how. Just occurred to me, it would work. They could do it. Because I'm pretty sure this is all Devolver Digital Publishing. But it's like, yeah, oh man, yeah, that would actually be really nice if that's how they did it. And it would make sense too. Just the whole idea, I'm just thinking, how do you market, or how do you announce as the publisher that, hey, VCD 2 or whatever they end up calling it. Because I could believe that you wouldn't do 2, it's like rinsed out or something. And now my mind kind of turned off. But it's like, how do you announce that? And it's like, well, I believe it's Devolver Digital that published it, that published this, and it's like, they can do weird stuff. They're comfortable doing weird stuff. And it just occurred to me that what would be neat is if they did have something like, oh, here's a trailer for one of our very violent games, that, would produce all these bodies. And then it's like, the trailer seems to end, and then you just have the VCD guy come over, or gal, come over and just, start mopping it all up, and that's how they officially announce it. And then I just remembered, well, Shadow Warrior is a Devolver Digital title. They publish it. It's Flying Wild Hog, right? That's the developers for it. And the original way that VCD was even announced was, well, the original version of it was the Shadow Warrior thing. It was just, this like, I think it may have even been meant as sort of a one-off. It wasn't meant to necessarily become its own game, but here we are. With what is a very enjoyable game, enjoyable experience. Yeah, there are ways it could be better. Welcome to reality. I mean, hey, don't get me wrong, as much as I criticize this and a lot of other games, it's still fun. I mean, it takes a lot for a game to not be fun. And yeah, alright. Yeah, there has been one game recently where it's like, yeah, for me, not fun. But I can respect it. No, there are people that would find this fun. I'm just not one of them. I mean, one easy example, and isn't what I'm referring to, would be Dark Souls. I hate that whole series. It is not. I do not care. But I do understand that there are plenty of people that do really enjoy it. I think they're nuts, but I do understand. But yeah, that would be really neat. And in theory, the timing might even work. Because Shadow Warrior 3 is just to come this year. Which, don't forget, I'm recording this in February, and I think this video will be out in April. So it's possible that we will have much more information on Shadow Warrior 3 by then. It's like, sorry, this is just, old video. I wasn't certain, but I knew I was close to this being spent. Yeah. With the next VCD, can we have it be, using DirectX 12 or Vulkan so that there can be millions of these shell casings on the ground? I'm actually, if you do that, give us a vacuum. But it's still just, that whole kind of, oh man, it'll be nice. New tech and all that will enable. But I will also say, do not waste your time putting ray tracing. I'm sorry, this is not a game that needs ray tracing. I can understand enabling DLSS though, since that NVIDIA has, this was last week for me, NVIDIA has released a plugin for Unreal Engine 4 that will basically allow you to just enable DLSS, you can just put it into your game. And please understand that when I say just enable, I do mean to the developers, that the user would not be able to do that. And it's like, that's, as much as I will criticize it and point out that it does have issues, DLSS 2.0 does have issues. I have screenshots and such. Ooh, can I pick them up in a better way? And that's not. It is still an impressive technology, and certainly a hell of a lot better than DLSS 1. But it's like, that you want to enable because it's basically a free, cheap thing that you can do, go for it. But ray tracing, I mean, unless it's also on that level, this is not a game that calls for it. Like, there are other things that would be, better to achieve first. Although, I will grant this. It could be fun, or at least funny, to be able to market the whole, now with the ray traced reflections in blood pools. Hey, for anyone that's like, oh, why would you do that? That's silly, that's stupid. What was it, was it Battlefield 1? What was the Battlefield game that has the ray tracing in there? And how do they show that off? A reflection in a character's eyeball. Because that mattered. Like, that's what they showed off. Something that no one would actually be able to see. So, yeah, I mean, we can totally have ray trace reflections in blood pools. And at least with some of that, it would make sense. I mean, it's like, that one, there's bigger blood pools than that, but that one still got him. That does remind me of something I saw, and it's like, oh man, I already did stuff in Metro Exodus. See, now there's a blood pool that I could have reflect. And oh man, it was so nice. The Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition announcement, because like, there's enough here and I can see ways to add to it. This is perfect. I can actually, you know, write up this news item before Friday. Man, I think I've talked about it before and how we, there's a, in order to satisfy Google, we need news items to be a certain length, well, have a certain minimum length, and it's hard to achieve that for a lot of the stuff I get. That one, and I didn't even get it, which was kind of weird. I should have gotten it, but it wasn't President's Day, so I could believe that. Yeah, you know, it's just a day off, so that's why it wasn't sent out. But yeah, I think I got 2.5 pages on that Metro Exodus, where Metro Exodus Enhanced Edition is going to have improved ray tracing, global illumination there, and undoubtedly other ray tracing effects. Emissive lighting was one of the things that was mentioned. I will admit, it sounded like, but I didn't go as far as saying it, just because I wasn't completely certain. But it would make sense since the minimum requirement for it will be a GPU with accelerated ray tracing capabilities. But it might actually have like ray tracing on the entire time. Fortunately, it's, you know, not a it's not like, oh, once you have this, you can't play the original. No. It's actually going to be separate. It's not even going to be like a patch for the original version. But yeah, it was nice to be able to write that up. And oh man, there was some stuff that I could talk about in that, because like I remember, because it had the original version of DLSS. It was one of the first games I think that released with it. And it was poor. Like I can still so much remember the trees in the Volga looking so bad once I turned on DLSS. And the polygon popping. Horrible. Absolutely. But with this enhanced edition, it's going to have 2.0. So we'll potentially, not really, but potentially actually be able to have same engine, similar content, similar engine, comparisons for DLSS 1.0 and 2.0. I don't know what I will do necessarily, but I definitely will want to do something. But also, I don't remember if I talked about it or not, closer to when it happened. But it also may have VRS, variable rate shading. And by the way, yes, I am in the whole talking so that it's not so quiet. That is the phase I'm in now, the mental. Variable rate shading, which is a thing I know I've talked about before. I just don't remember when the last time was. If it was after I did the performance analysis for Series M4, which does support through DirectX 12. Fortunately, I didn't just put down mobile. Does support VRS. I tested it on an RTX 2060, which is a 1440p class card. That's what it is. And had it at the high preset for that game, except that I turned off MSAA, multi-sampling. I turned off FXAA to fast approximate thing that, yeah, let's face it, does blur in. And, oop. Oh, I knew at most I only had one. These are both spent now, but that's actually fine. That is completely fine. Because see, now this room is basically... Oh, wait, except for that. But with MSA, everything at the high preset except MSA to off, FXAA to off, and SSAA super sampling at 4x. it was still running fine. The RTX 2060 was still playing the Series M4 just fine. In like there was one of the areas where it wasn't keeping above 60 FPS, but the other two areas I tested in were keeping above 60 FPS with 4x super sampling enabled at 1920 by 1080 was the output resolution, thanks to VOS. I am very happy that it is at least possible that Metro Exodus may take advantage of VOS. This is mentioned that it will be using DirectX 12 Ultimate, mentioning Tier 1.1 DXR, that's the DirectX ray tracing, and Stable Ray Shape. But they didn't talk about it within the body of the post about it, the announcement. So that's why I'm like, I don't know. I hope so though, because it is such a nice technology. And that Series M4 implementation, I could believe, could improve. Because that's the first game I have that uses it. And it is one of the earlier examples, so yeah, there's definitely room for improvement there. Oh, and I also just remember that's something else I can talk about. Because I was already using them before, in the last set of recordings, I believe, back in October, the custom mechanical keyboard stuff, and I know I talked about it. The one I'm currently on, I'm using the NK65 again. I was on the one-up keyboards build after those videos, I think. I'm just trying to go by timing. I think that's I want to... But everything else here, I think is just small, so I'm going to start sticking them in the bucket. But yeah, so I'm back on the NK65, and with the box Jades, which for the moment are the last switches I have. I'm hoping I can get more to try with, but I'll be honest, it's okay if I don't, because then I can go back to using the Boba U4s. Those switches. Much prefer them to the NK Blueberry switches, which are also tactile switches. But it's like you can get the Blueberry switches, and I don't know how you can get the Boba U4s anymore. I hope that they will somehow be made available again. So wait. But yeah, so the box J's, they're not only clicky switches, but are infamously clicky switches. It's like, they are known to be quite loud, so there's a good chance they are being picked up by the mic. And by good chance, I mean they definitely should be. If they're not, it is only because of the RNN thing in OBS, the neural network train, the trained neural network noise suppression that I've been using for a while now, and I've been quite happy with it, by the way. I really I'm not through with testing, with working with the box Jade, but I figure at the end of that I'll try to do a comparison recording with OBS, with and without RNN, just to see if it does make a difference. I would hope so, but I don't know how Just trying to think what else to say I can talk about. Do another one of I just remember something that'd be kind of funny. A little funny to talk about. So the other day when I was logged into YouTube, I don't remember what it was I was doing, if I was uploading something or setting things to public. But whatever it was I was doing, I saw YouTube had a survey. And it's like, yeah. Huh? Why? It is not wise to survey me because I don't mind. And I said it in more than one place, in part because I didn't know how long the survey was. And it's like, I mean, giving me a question that I can type an answer to that's, you know, this is an appropriate answer to your question. Sorry, I just... Lovely. Yeah, I basically just called out that I don't actually, you know, trust that this survey will mean anything because you make decisions that don't really align. I mean, it's like, hey, we're gonna use a new visual design, and when we implement it, we will lose features that people have been using. And yeah, there's, you know, basically no reason to do this, but we're gonna do it anyway. And that, you know, I do believe, I completely do believe that YouTube is basically, hey, we're dominant, we don't really care about it. It's not even like resting on their laurels, because it's like when there are ways that YouTube is not a great service. It doesn't work that well, and yet it is the dominant. So it's like, if you want a good chance for videos to be seen and shared, put it up on YouTube. And I mean, I will grant that, you know, like when I've posted, when I've given feedback about bugs or missing features, I'll grant, yeah, you know, one of millions that day. You know, that is going to be the situation, but at the same time, it is the case that it's like, I mean, you are one of the largest companies in the world. You should be able to address some of this stuff, especially when it's like, how does your own QA miss this? I'm gonna start. Say it. It just seems like the behavior is a little off, but it might just be that there's enough stuff in this to be a problem. I'm just gonna give it to this bucket. But yeah, things like can't set what my time zone is in there, so it's like I'm not uploading it right. Well, the schedule doesn't go live at the right time for me because it thinks I'm at GMT, which I get is, you know, the default. But why can't I not change what it is anyway? I need to get a drink of water. But hey, I will grant that they did eventually figure out that, oh, you know, when we have this schedule feature, it would make sense if, you know, we have the way the week is shown be consistent with the majority of... Because for a while, what was it? Yeah, it was Saturday, Sunday, Monday is how it was shown. So Friday was the last day of the week, I think it was. Maybe it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it ended Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, and I will grant that somebody, I remember years ago, once made the point that, you know, it's the weekend, so, you know, it's, why is it on either side of the week? It's like, okay, well, I can think of two reasons. One is just, it's called that because it's the end of the work, you know, it is after the end of the work week. But another reason is it's the ends. Like, you know, if you take a piece of string where the ends, it's at either end. So it's like it still satisfies the language. But I would not be surprised if it's just there is some other etymology. Not and would be insects. The study of insects. I need to stop cleaning up right stuff. Okay, it has occurred to me what I should do. I will get this body. I actually need to be cleaning up into a different room so that I can reach the box. But yeah, as I was saying, I could believe there was a different etymological? I can't even remember the word now. But there's a different reason for why they're like, for why it is that way. And concerning, yeah, etymology. Just concerning that in general. You know what? No, this room is relatively small. Before moving on. Though I would not go back to school to study it, it really is a valuable thing to consider and to look up and look into it. Like there's one thing I saw that I'm sorry, it's like you're just exposing. Yeah, I actually just thought of two things. I'll use the other one. Something I saw Peter had shared. The People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, Peter. Did they? Because the newest thing at this point is the whole change the definition of words so that we can say that that word or this word is harmful, that would upset people. It's like that. I mean, I'm sorry, it's supposed to be bigger than words, but anyhow, they tried to suggest that we should use these other words, like don't call somebody a rat, don't call somebody a snake, like snake should be jerk and such. And there's also like sloth. Instead of using the word sloth, it should be lazy. It's like, so here's a fun fact: sloth predates the animal. At least the naming of the animal. Yeah, because it's not hard to guess that sloths are found in South America. So you had to discover the Americas before you discover the animal to name it the sloth, right? But sloth is, 27 deadly sins. So the concept has been around for a very long time. So the word would also be around for quite a while. I think when I looked at it, it does have a Romance origin. So it is from Latin, but also related to Spanish. But it's like they discovered this animal that moves really slowly. So they call it sloth. That's what they named it. It actually is from the Portuguese. I do remember that. It's been a while, so I don't remember all the details to what I saw. But it's like, for your argument to work with the whole, we shouldn't do that. It's like, we need to change the name of the animal. It came second. I'm just trying to think of what another good example would be. I mean, it's not really a great example, but don't call somebody a Judas because would to imply that they are a traitor or committed some great betrayal. And it's like, you can't really. Because there are people named Judas and it may upset them, it's like, the thing is that the guy was named Judas, so what do you do? I mean, and the name would be earlier than him as well, so what are you supposed to do then? I'm just, I definitely will get to the boxes. There's so many small, but I think it's right over there. But yeah, the other thing that I saw though, where it's like, hey, you need to look into the history of this word because you sound like idiot. But some people saying that, you can't, that history is his there's his in there, so it's masculine, so we can't have that, it's wrong, it's unfair to women, all that. It's like, the word history comes from high story. There's nothing gendered in it. It literally comes from the combination of the words high story. Which is actually really funny, because it's like, those words, high and story, with those kinds of meaning, are, predate English well enough. But it's like, it actually, relates back to the Greek word, and it's like, and when you think that makes so much sense, that it's high story, like what high fantasy is. It's just the scale and all the things that are included and covered in high fantasy or high science fiction or what have you. It's like, yeah, high story, it makes perfect sense that that's how you would describe history. The story of what has actually happened, the story of life and the past. It makes perfect sense. And the funniest part is, to me, about someone making an obvious ignorant error like that is, it's the way you would look at it and be like, oh, it's his is in there, so it must be this offensive masculine thing. It's like, in order for you to do that, you're basically committing a hegemony, where it's like you're only viewing things and applying this language standards that you have onto the words of things, onto words that are not necessarily originating from your language. And it's like, you're committing that very kind of thing that you don't want committing. I mean, words are words. I mean, yeah, some of them are hateful, and you need to, see those refrained from use and discouraged from being used. At the same time, you don't, try to delete the word, because then it can just come back. And it's also, all it takes then is for, you delete it, but, what if you then have a kid that hears it somewhere else? Now you need to explain it to them. I mean, it's, the whole more speech is the best way to combat, unwanted speech. That is awkward. Okay, good. I want to get one of the bin boxes so that I can take it down and just start making a whole bunch of buckets. That's amazing. The channel of old England, from Ashton to Sailing to Sturdy or Lucy, the first land we made was a point called the Dead Man. Next Ramshead of Penrith, on Portland and Wide. We sailed them by Beachy, by Fairley and Dungeness, and bore straight away for the south, for the south, for the right. And we'll roar like true British sailors, we'll rat, and we'll roar across the sea, till we strike soundings in the channel of old England. Yeah, only about 2 minutes left. In a way, that actually works out very nicely, because I'll be able to, build up all these buckets. I'm trying to remember, did I have occasion to try carrying them stacked or not? Because I do remember that comment from now months ago, somebody suggesting doing that. And I think I've consistently forgotten to try it. But I can definitely try it, because I need to get these buckets elsewhere. Oop. Here we go. Perfect. Not because that thing. Alright. I mean, at least they clean buckets, so even if I do mess this up, it's, you know, not gonna be so bad. This and there's another game. Well, there's another track, I mean, that we'll play that really makes me think of that thing. Which I don't know. I might try doing Poison though. They were fun. They were silly, but you know, silly. Oop. Goes the time. Okay. Okay. I want to get stuff there. There, so on. Turn that, and I'm just gonna save, well, stop. I'll also save when I'm down here. Next to all these, I actually should make a lot more. Yeah, just, you know, save on top of that. Alright. Pause. That is tidal wave, by the way. For anyone curious. Alright. So, I shall pull up the folder. There it is. And, yeah. Just see you next time when we, you know, continue with, Revolutionary Robotics? Is that it? Revolutionary Robotics. Yep, that's it. I'm just said 3 hours. But hey, it's all good. It's fun. Alright, see you next time.